All right, we're live everywhere. All right. I know I've made this comment several times, but I wanted to make sure we made it abundantly clear and really easy to find um, as the days roll forward and we start getting, let's just say, we get a little bit louder with what we're doing with Project Reforge. So, as far as the medical doctors go, when we're talking about healing, when we're talking about getting better, when we're talking about care, I truly believe this, and I don't think there's any argument to this. I don't think anybody's going to argue, like, oh, you're wrong. In order to become a medical doctor, you have to be very intelligent, pretty significantly above normal. You're not going to get people who are not intelligent to even make it through the schooling to get to medical school, let alone get into medical school. So I think it's obvious that all of these people who hold the degree are intelligent human beings. I think it's one of those blanket statements we can just be like, you've got to be in the upper piece of intelligent to become a medical doctor. So they're obviously smart people. I think the vast majority of them, obviously not 100%, but I think the vast majority of them have significant amounts of compassion and love and care to want to go through the beating that is the schooling and the all of the crap that everybody has to go through to become an MD. So I think we can all agree that on the average, the vast majority of them have something inside of them that's telling them that they want to help people and do that thing, which is phenomenal and I love, and that's fantastic. And we all can appreciate and respect that. The dedication it takes, it's a gigantic beating of just you have to dedicate your entire life to this thing. You know, all of the study, all of the function, all of the classes, all this, it's massive dedication, massive commitment, massive loyalty. It is a massive undertaking, and these are all the qualities we should respect in human beings. You know, caring for others, dedication, loyalty, commitment, intelligence. Obviously, these are phenomenal, like top tier people. You know, we have ethnically stuff that you have in any group, so it's like just wash that aside. There's bad apples in every group, but on the whole, I think that the vast majority of your medical doctors are fantastic human beings. Once they've been in the profession a while, they get a little overburdened with all the bureaucratic crap and all that stuff. But as far as dedication to people, go talk to a nurse at a hospital. Just you know, not for no reason. Like if you're over there, just talk to them and be like, how long have you been here? Like a lot of those nurses, the vast majority of them will work 12-hour shifts and stay a couple extra hours helping out and stuff like that. Like these people are amazingly dedicated to doing what they can to help. So they're phenomenal people. So I want that understood. So when we talk about the medical system, words are important. So I want people to understand that my fight is with the system that governs those people. Those people are great. I have no fight with them. I want them on our side. They're amazing human beings. No negative function, no negative thoughts about those people as people. When I talk about the medical system, I am not talking about the medical doctors, the nurses, the practitioners, and people who are there. Again, I'm going to repeat that because I want to make sure everybody understands. My fight is with the system that has been built up around them to poison and to profit off of the misery of human beings, which is the medical system. So the FDA, the CDC, the NIH, the WHO, these organizations that control the bureaucracy that is now choked off and is distorting and corrupting our healthcare system. You know, you can look at all of the things that were handed down from the NIH during COVID that they knew were not going to be beneficial. The masks that drove our country insane, that created more fights in airplanes, more fights in public spaces, and was a massive distraction to actually what was going on, which I'm assuming was the purpose, that they knew were going to do absolutely zero good. People are still wearing masks out in public, and they're paper masks. Their eyes are exposed. Your eyes are mucous membranes. Things get into your eyes, they get into your system. And these masks have giant gaps in them. Like you're not protected at all in any way from anything because you're still getting air in your mouth from the outside. It's not filtered through the mask. So it's coming into the gaps. And so you're not protected in any way. This was never, ever in question. Like the guys who forced this mandate always knew that they had zero benefit, but they did it anyway. This stand 5-6 feet apart thing, that's ludicrous. Like that's absurd, but they made you do it anyway. They do things all the time to hide, to mask, and to keep the reality from you, from what's going on. They even lied to you and told you straight out, COVID came from a bat. These dirty, horrible Chinese people are eating these disgusting things that created COVID, when they knew that was a lie. The guy who stood up there and told you that they came from a bat was the guy who made the virus. He 100% knew what happened, but he lied to you, and he was the entirety of the head of the medical system. And so, because the medical system is used to lying to you, because they don't care if you get better. They do care if you die, so they don't want you to die, because if you die, that dries up their revenue source. Well, if we just look at it statistically, we are spending more money now than we've ever spent on pharmaceuticals, more money we've ever spent on medicine, and we are the unhealthiest we've ever been. So just statistically, we should look at this thing and go, what we've been doing for 50 years is taking us in the exact wrong direction. We're getting less healthy and we're spending more on it. We want to spend less on it and get healthier. Like, we couldn't be going in a more wrong direction. And people just keep looking at it and going, well, I guess I'll go back and get the information from the medical doctors. Again, the medical doctors are trying their hardest to help you. They're being given bad information on purpose. They're being lied to. They're being told cholesterol is the devil. Cholesterol is the worst thing in the world. Cholesterol is causing heart attacks. When we've known for about 40 years, 30 years, that cholesterol has no bearing. Blood levels of cholesterol have no bearing on cardiovascular health. None. But if the pharmaceutical companies have a drug to sell, they're going to lie to everybody all the way down to sell their drug. And I've gone over the cardiovascular thing a lot. Even the calories thing. Like, I am convinced that the reason that you're taught that the body runs on calories is because it doesn't take very long when you start studying, macro to hormonal function, how those macros affect your body. It takes you about 10 seconds to figure out how to fix diabetes. Diabetes is a $120 billion a year industry. They're not going to tell you how to fix that because they would rather have the money than have you healthy. Again, medical system, not medical doctors. So this is the fight that we're in. This is what we're talking about. So as we go through this and we do all these things, that's the thing. So as we're starting to walk through this and I start making comments about the medical system and how it's, evil and how it's horrible and it is the direct opposite of how we should be practicing, I want you to understand my definition of this is the CDC, the NIH, the FDA, and the WHO, not the medical doctors. These are good people who've been lied to, who are trying their damnedest to help you. These guys who write the curriculum, the guys who are tied into the pharmaceuticals, who are getting kickbacks, who are doing all the things. Look at our politicians. RFK's thing was, I want to make the world healthier for our children. That was his entire platform. And all of the people who were arguing against him, I don't know if you saw this on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, but each one who were like, we're not going to let you investigate. We're not going to let you do this. They were all paid millions of dollars, in some of the cases, millions, most of them hundreds of thousands of dollars by pharmaceutical lobbyists to grill and possibly not let RFK get in. So this is what we're up against. This is the fight we're having. And if you're like, I don't know about what you're saying, just go Google it yourself. Pick a disease, asthma, anxiety, depression, autism, anything, diabetes, pick something, pick a long-term chronic disease, Google it and be like, where are we today versus where were we 30, 40, 50 years ago? And you'll find out that the vast majority of the issues that we are fighting, that we have been working so hard against, we've been spending so much money against, have been getting significantly worse over time, just systematically worse over time. There's more of those people, and more of those people are being prescribed the same drugs. And what we should learn from this, regardless of anything I'm saying, is just look at that and go, I don't think what we're doing is working. We should do something different. We should go a different direction. That's my whole statement. Apparently what we're doing right now isn't working, and we should look at finding ways that might work and that might work better. So that's one of the biggest things we're doing behind Project Reforge is, here's some ideas that have worked for thousands of years. The Eastern medicine work. Some of the we're doing a lot of blood work. We're doing a lot of hormone work. The whole purpose behind what we're trying to do is get back to baseline. And what baseline is the power that made the body heals the body. How were you designed? How do we get back to that design? And it's not going to come from pharmaceuticals. It's going to come from, more natural stuff, things that your body was designed to focus and work with. None of these pharmaceuticals that are derived from petroleum are really doing long-term beneficial function for us. So this is kind of where we're at. This is where we're going with it. And it's important to me that we get the words down. And this is an NLP thing. And you guys are going to get a lot more exposure to NLP. And I'm super excited about that because this is all communication function. I've done my thing on the word love and, what it means and the whole deal. So I'm not going to bore you with that again. We'll go over that another day. But these are important things. And as we start to peel the veil back on what's going on and secondary possibilities and secondary options and stuff like that, and you guys start seeing these things, I'm going to be berate. I'm going to be, because I'm angry, like I'm frustrated at the system that we're living in and how it is masking the greatness of the design of the body that you have and the unbelievable intricacies and the obvious beautiful design, the obvious, expression of creation. As we start to walk through that, I want to make sure that I have made this statement again, because, in the next couple of weeks and stuff, as we start, building this thing up, I don't want anybody to look back and be like, I wonder what he means by this. So this is entirely just to set the groundwork of what I mean with the definitions of the words and who people are that I'm talking about. Again, medical doctors, I love these guys. These are phenomenal human beings. I want them to start learning functional medicine. I want them to start coming over. They desire to help everybody. That's my position, is the medical doctors and the nurses and the people in the medical community and the therapists. These guys truly want to help people. They were just not given the tools that they require, because the tools they require will actually heal you, will actually help you, and then you will not need the pharmaceuticals any longer. And so this takes trillions of dollars at least. If we fix diabetes, we roll back dementia, we got everybody healthier, you're looking at probably $250 billion, $250 billion a year that would be taken directly out of the pharmaceutical companies' income, which would do terrible things to their stock prices and just make them all super, super sad. However, we will get healthier. I want you to start recognizing that. Just look at the statistics. Our health got worse. We spent more on drugs. So one of the options out of this is that we spend less on drugs and our health comes up. Because that's the other side. If you were healthy, you wouldn't need the drug. And so if we get you healthy and you don't need the drug, obviously the drug sales are going to come down and the profits that they're making is going to drop. And so that is the thing they're fighting against. And think about that. If they're fighting against losing profit, what has to happen? You have to stay sick. You have to stay taking their medications. So of course, their goal isn't to get you better. Whether that's deep in the psyche of it or whether it's right on top, I don't know that. But I do know that if you get better, they lose money. And I do know that diabetes is pretty easy to walk back. Type 2 is pretty easy to walk back. And I've done this before. People who've been diagnosed type 1, we've been able to hold them in a pattern where they're just with their diet and their exercise and that type of thing, they didn't need any pharmaceuticals to maintain function. So, even though they're classified as type 1, they were diagnosed as type 1, and I'm not trying to take away their diagnosis. However, they're classified as type 1. We changed their diet and their exercise routine, and they didn't need any more drugs or insulin. So this is kind of where we're at. I want to make sure we made this statement clear, because as people come out and they're like, John Jarvis hates medical doctors, I want everybody to come back to this video and be like, no, he said, and you can find this lots of other places that I've said this, because I've tried to make this clear, but I felt like this is something I really needed to make sure that we were totally clear on before we started walking through what we're going to walk through. So what we're hoping to do is we're going to start doing some videos with these guys as we go through. I'm meeting with these guys, each guy throughout the week, and we're going to make sure that we get all the things set up and we're moving forward. And as you guys start learning more about these guys, we didn't pull an easy group. These are phenomenal individuals. Just talking to them was really, really cool. But these guys need some help, and they're going to get it. And these guys are fantastic human beings. So as we start rolling through this and I start making comments and stuff like that, I wanted to make sure we knew the most important piece where I stood on it, because this is going to be something that people are going to talk about where my fight is. My fight is not with medical doctors. My fight is with the system that is keeping them from making people healthy. So that's where we're at. So I'm sure we'll come back to this on a regular basis, but this is where we're at. And so as we move forward, keep that in mind. So thank you guys for your time. We're all real excited about what we're going to be able to do with Project Reforge. So we'll start posting that stuff up. We've got some stuff. Sean and those guys are putting it all together, and then we're going to start kind of recording some stuff and then posting small things as we go through. I'll be jumping on more podcasts so we can get some more information out to you guys. So just follow me on everything. I'd highly recommend that you follow me on X at Dr. Chalmers 1. I've had a lot of stuff that we've put out that's been censored. In 2020, I put out how I was treating COVID and how it was working with quinine and hyperbaric oxygen. And it destroyed my social, and it destroyed my Google ranking on my business for medical misinformation. And now everyone's coming out and being like, hyperbaric was a great idea. Like, quinine worked pretty well. So yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. A lot of the stuff on my YouTube has been taken down. YouTube sends me emails all the time about how they're going to delete my whole account for, disagreeing with the CDC. So there you go. I know Meta, so Facebook and Instagram have been doing a lot of that as well. So if you're following everything on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, that's fantastic, but you're probably going to miss the best information because they're going to censor it. So, swing over to X, follow me there, follow this Sean Hendricks and this Sam Sweet. I'll put a list of everybody else on here. We're going to start putting lists of everybody that we've got. I'm going to post the pictures with everybody's, wherever their handle is. I'll be posting that up. So follow all of us. It's going to be a really, really interesting thing. We've compiled an amazing team. I'm really, really, really happy about our team. And I think we're going to be able to do some good for a lot of people. So, all right. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys next week. Have a fantastic day.